out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California has won the big game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Pride with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a new river thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big dog sports talk, lighten up the dark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's
Right?
got the spark, Big Dog Sports Talk.
See how much Selma loves the show song? How's everybody doing here on a Tuesday? Good morning, Stephen. How are you? Hit us up in the McClellan Chiropractic chat room. We'd love to hear from you. Also on the Professional Door Incorporated text line, that's 391-0788. Please subscribe, like, and share the channel. Marva in Miami joins us coming up about 6:45. Brian Siegler from the Boundary Corner podcast, and then Mike Burnham. Marty and Rags tomorrow. Marty Smith, Coach Ragsdale. Got that locked down yesterday. What's going on, Scissors? Good to see you. Good morning. Please subscribe, like, and share. We got some light rain out here in southwestern Virginia. I've actually seen some people complaining about the rain. Now, don't complain. Thank you, Scissors. Appreciate that. You're the best. What's up, Gary Michael Ward? Bonjour. Bonjour. So we've been dry throughout the summer here. The river's been really low. We've had some rain, and now people are complaining about the rain. Now, let's let the rain continue for a little while. We're okay. I don't think we're done having rewatering. Right? Gotta be honest, man. Yesterday. What's up, Agatha? Good to see you again. What's up, Prometheus? Good morning. It was funny. It made its rounds all over X, but Aaron Rodgers went scorched earth on Anthony Fauci pleading the fifth. And, you know, ESPN made a point to rip Aaron Rodgers for not getting the vaccination, and he got on McAfee yesterday. And it was priceless. And you could just sense how uncomfortable the network was. Good for McAfee, first of all. And some redemption for Aaron Rodgers. That's a good start, Scissors. Good for you, man. Good for you. Anyway, that was funny. If you haven't seen it, go on X. I enjoyed it. I watched it a couple of times. Everything that was said, that we said, ended up being true. Anyway. Yeah, I believe that happens, Agatha. Yeah, stuff gets moved. So my ghost story, I don't have a ghost story. Did you ever have one of those moments that you remember, you think about? I remember my daughter was very young, I don't know, 2 or 3 years old, and she was, I remember she was, we were eating, and we were trying to get her shoes on. She's sitting on my lap, and we had a little dog at the time. And what's up, Troy? Good morning. And all of a sudden, the little dog and my daughter just started watching something go across the room like this. And I'm sitting there, you know. What's up, Mark? Good to see you. So they watched it, and then both of them at the same time kind of walked. The dog got up and walked around the corner, and then my daughter jumped off my lap. I got her shoe tied, and she walked, and I'm like, am I missing something here? Anyway, that was my ghost story. It's very underwhelming. Thank you, Scissors. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. Stop by anytime. So who knows about ghosts and things of that nature? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, if you haven't seen Aaron Rodgers, it was great. It was great. It was awesome. The Dodger fan got mad at me on, we had our most watched short ever when I went off about the Dodgers ruining baseball, and Dodger fan did not like it. I got a lot of comments. Baseball will not happen in 2027, so enjoy that. Enjoy that. And again, I will say this for all you Dodger fans who are ignoring the obvious. You are taking advantage of the system you've been given. Yes. You did not create the system. But Major League Baseball, because you went bankrupt, bailed you out of that situation. Bailed you out years ago. So you have an advantage with your TV revenue that no other club has. And you're already in Los Angeles. So, just saying. You too, Agatha. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a great day. Appreciate that. Thanks for your subscription. And I hope you don't have any more ghost-related issues. But hey, you know what? It's fine. Dodger fan that took their shots at me, you are entitled to your opinion. It is perfectly fine. Go Cubbies. Yeah, I saw the Dodgers are reeling a little bit. The Red Sox swept them. The Cubs did some good stuff at the deadline too, Mark. Cubs are good. Wait, let me look here. 64 wins. That's only 5 games behind the Dodgers for best record. Cubs are good. Really good. But anyway, so Dodger fan, that's fine. Your opinion matters, even though you were against me. My opinion is my own. Yeah, I think the Cubs have a shot. I do. Again, we have to enjoy it while we can this year. I mean, look at the National League. Atlanta's good, right? Let's just say Atlanta's good. They're one of the most well-run organizations in all of sports. Phillies come on as of late. I don't know how good they are. I don't know if they have the pitching depth. Marva's Marlins swooned, and now they're making a little comeback. Milwaukee's really good, and the Cubs are good. And then out west, it's the Dodgers, and everybody else is just kind of. So, yeah, they got a shot, man. You got a shot. And in the American League, it's basically Tampa, the Yankees in Boston. Nobody's good in the Central, and nobody's good in the West. I mean, the White Sox lead the Central. They're 7 over 500. Houston leads the West. They're 2 games over 500, yet they have a 2.5 game lead. It's been a bad year in the American League. It's American League East heavy with the Rays, the Yankees, and the Red Sox. What's up, Cecil, on the text line? Yeah, Phil Steele was last week. Where were you, Cecil? Go back to last Tuesday's show. It's there on the channel. You can find it if you missed Phil. He was great. He was great. As always. And to answer your question, yeah, he's very high on Virginia Tech in year 1. Yep. What was really cool, he was really high on the ACC in year 1. I am too. I think the league's going to be fun. But Aaron Rodgers calling out the 4-letter network yesterday was priceless. I enjoyed that. It may have been my finest moment of appreciation for Aaron Rodgers. Right? From the White House to the courthouse, AT courthouse, the NCAA finds ways to continue losing all the way to the college sports outhouse. All of us watching think the NCAA show is kind of Mickey Mouse. Go BDST. Yeah, it really is. Look, I'm going to try to turn over a new leaf, and I want to just kind of focus on. I'm going to try to focus on the games. Yes, Mark, ESPN's beyond a joke. They're a parody. They're a parody of itself, and they're just too. They don't have enough self-awareness to realize that 95% of the people already know that. Like, they still believe that they can come across as a credible entity. Maybe they do to Generation Zers. I don't know. Maybe. But to people who know sports, who've been veteran sports fans, who follow it, look, we have to watch it because they carry games. Doesn't mean I'm going to listen to it while I watch it. I'm always going to listen to Roth and Burnip when Tech's on. I'm not going to listen to who the hell else. Sean McDonough is really good. I'll listen to him. I don't even know if they have anybody else worth listening to calling college games on that network. I don't like Fowler. I never liked Fowler or Herb Street. I never have been. We got used to him because that's the number 1 team. But Fowler's not a play-by-play guy. He never has been. But it's TV. So it's different anyway. But it was great. You know, they wanted to cut Rodgers off yesterday. How would that have looked? But they're a propaganda network is all they are. They're just like all the news networks that side with political entities. It's the same thing. That's all ESPN is. It's all they are. Yeah, I think Dan still does it the right way, Dan Patrick. I would agree. Seems like a generally good dude. Think he got out at the right time from that network, and now he's created his own, mega brand all his own. He's carved it out the right way. I agree with that. Interviewed him once a long time ago on the first run of the show, and then we were on the show. I was on his show when Radford hit the shot for briefly. They always do that with the first team that gets in, and that was the call where I went crazy, and they made fun of me. It was great. Hey, don't worry about spell check, Morris. There's nobody who utilizes and needs spell check more than me. Don't worry about it. You'll never get judged for spell check as long as I'm around. I mean, when I send text, I always have to apologize to people ahead of time. Because most of the time I try to use the audio text, and it just doesn't work. What's up, T-Bird? Wonder if any of the past recipients have moved their ESPY awards, which has always been a joke, from their display case to the closet or even the dumpster. Yeah, just kind of throw them out. Zero self-awareness. Having to fire so much staff. By the way, people were wondering, Carl Ravitch came back to call games, but he was given the option, since he did get released. His contract, I think, goes a couple more months, but he could have either just left or if he wanted to come back and do games. And because he loves baseball so much, he's decided to call games. That's why you're still seeing him on there. Had a couple of text messages about that. They really think that paying, and I guess it pays off. I don't know. Who knows? I guess it pays off. But paying 4 or 5 people $100 and some million, and Stephen A. Smith, who they continue to parade out there, I guess their job model showing them it pays off. I don't know. I just don't know. It's disappointing, but I mean, and you control it, right? We're the consumer. We control it. You just don't watch. Just don't turn it on. I'm usually, obviously, most of us, we're all working during the day when all that crap's on anyway. But if you were off, would you actually sit there and consciously ever turn on that show, any of those shows, and think, oh boy, let's go get some sports knowledge? No. The answer is no. But yeah, I'm with you, Mark. I will, listen to the Dan Patrick Show. Tom, he's still a really good interviewer. Now, he does get a little too political. He's not shy about his politics. Unfortunately, he falls into that same trap. But for the most part, he does it straight up. Yep. I would agree. I would concur with that. 100%. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios here in Ryder, 540-200-8294. Thanks to Jason Green. They will be back as our studio sponsor for year 2. Year 2 starts, I looked it up, it's a week from today, on August the 11th. That's when we went live here on YouTube last year, not knowing what the hell I was doing. Some might say I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I would go, okay. McClellan Chiropractic, 155 Walters Drive, sponsor of our chat room. Mark will also be back to help us out and promote all the good he's doing for people in their bodies. Pulaski County Sports Entertainment will also return as our title sponsor. Had a great conversation yesterday with Jonathan Sweet. Thanks to him and Tim Miller. Successful weekend of jet skiing. The River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg. We hope they return. I got to reach out to Charles. 540-553-2971. Get your air units done and ready to go. The BDST fan question of the week brought to you by the attorney Ryan Pry. We're already getting some good response. 701 West Main Street in Radford. Who will play in the college football national championship game? Right now, people are going chalk. They're going Georgia and Ohio State. Hit me up on the text line 3910788. You can DM me whatever it may be. Who will play, not who will win, but who will play in the national title game this year? National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of me and this program, and I communicated with Larry Ramsey yesterday, the president, and they will return as our exclusive banking partner sponsor here on the program, and that makes me Very, very excited that she's back for year 2.
My.
Here.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That was out of nowhere.
For instance, I went by there yesterday and had to take care of my, I told you how they helped me get refinanced with all the crap, coming out of your parents' pass and things that you have to take on and things like that. And Jamie down at the Radford branch made it easy. You go in there and everybody greets you with a smile. You know what it means just to get greeted with a smile? A genuine smile. And you just always have a great conversation. It's just, I'm telling you, National Bank, that's the way to go. Professional Door, that's the way to go. Hope you took advantage of the $40 off. Residential commercial garage doors, 540-674-0008. Hopefully you got your preventative maintenance scheduled. If you didn't, shame on you. It's your fault. ReadySetFun.com. That's Bob Chris 11 at Gmail. Series of text messages, and you can figure out. No, Siri, not you. See, my phone lit up when I said series. Yeah, there it goes again. Technology. Floyd County girls team, softball team, raised $4,300 using Ready Set Fun. Check them out. Sundown Electric. Thanks to the Smith brothers. People have been asking for their shirt. He's going to send me a graphic, so I'm going to show you. Yeah, people like the graphic. Sundown Electric, one of the best reputations, long list of satisfied clients, superior craftsmanship, costs are down in Elliston. Reach out to the Smith brothers. Proud to have them as a continued sponsorship partner. The NRV Super Bowl, which we already know, knocked it out of the park during the bash. 540-382-5525. Leagues are forming: men's, women's, mixed, kids leagues. Wish I would have had an opportunity at a kids league growing up. Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Call James Lawson, 540-381-8011. Manufactured parts for your home. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Trying to finalize some agreements with a couple new folks, and hopefully we can keep most of the rest of the folks. Yep. Stephen A. No, we don't even turn it on. Yeah, we don't turn it on, Mark. We just don't turn it on. We just don't turn it on. Games I'll turn on because you have to. You have to turn games on. That is without a question. There's nothing else I watch on there. I don't have an MOS, Edvin, but people ask all the time. I keep my hair short because that's just the way I like it. It's the way I did it back when I fought, and I like it. Morris says Texas and Miami in the national title game. All right, Morris, we'll put that on there. It's been a good question. I think that was Brandon who came up with that question. Brandon's been on a roll as of late. Thanks to the Chamber of Commerce, by the way, Montgomery County. Talked to those folks yesterday, got re-registered. They invited me back, so thank you. I need to get more involved with that, so that's on me. I will make sure that happens coming up in year 2. I will do that, Steve. And thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel for our t-shirts. We still have a bunch of them if you want some. $20. $20. So anyway, Marvin's coming up in about 20 minutes. I am going to do my best and try to, I don't want to get bogged down with, no one has said this to me, but I feel like I don't mean to focus on all the negativity going on in college sports and all the bad things. It so effortlessly becomes part of the mainstream conversation, though, because of all the ineptitude. Sometimes you just have to feel like you need to address it. And that's the case. That's the case here, with everything. Oh, let me go get the kitty. The kitty's out here mewing. Oh, my goodness. No wonder it's raining. Hang on. We got ourselves a deluge. But anyway, Anyway, so I'm trying to focus on the good stuff, the games. We'll have to talk about it when something breaks, but I don't want to get bogged down all the time with all the crap. We know there's crap. Everybody knows it's bad. What's that behind you? Which part? That's Randy Gradishar's little wooden jersey with his signature. Not a real signature, but that's an old Broncos tray from the 70s. That's the greatest fight of all time, Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed. And then that's Godzilla. Pretty self-explanatory. Godzilla's brand new, by the way. That's actually a local brewery up in the state of Washington. Has that as their that's their logo. It's their brand. If you could get just one more great sponsorship partner, maybe you could secure an interview with Big Money Seth. By the way, T-Bird, if you think about it, will you do me a big favor? And I'm sorry to ask. You sent me some folks to get a hold of, and I don't know why, but I blatantly lost that conversation. Can you send those to me again? Or Georgia and Ohio State. So far, yeah. Morris, Georgia, Ohio State's the chalk so far. They've gotten like seven responses that has Georgia playing Ohio State. Sorry, T-Bird. Just send me a text message, 3910788. Or you can just send me a DM. You had a couple of names, and no, I need to reach out. That's my bad. What's a Godzilla? Godzilla? Are you kidding me? Godzilla is the greatest. Godzilla, Wayne? By the way, Godzilla -0 and now Godzilla -1 is coming out in November. I'm very excited about that. That Japanese film was just the best Godzilla movie ever. It was terrific. And now they've got a new one coming out that I am looking very forward to. I've always been a fan of that whole genre. You grow up, even though the cheese. I know, right, Wayne? How do you not know who Godzilla might be? What's up, Murder Drones? Glad to have you back. Not Mike, thanks for stopping by. Please subscribe. What's Creed Balboa? Oh, well. Rocky 1, not Mike. Go watch it. Apollo Creed. The champion of the world, the undefeated champion of the world, and then upstart Rocky Balboa. It's based on a true story. Based on a true story. You're just rage baiting? No rage here, Mike. Good stuff. I like stuff like that. Welcome, not Mike. Godzilla's the greatest movie star and hero over the last 75 years. Yeah, Texas and Miami would be fun. I hope it's somebody quirky like that, Morris, in the championship game. That'd be fun. What's up, Edward? Yes, you did hear right. Marty Smith and Coach Rags tomorrow. Correct. 7 o'clock, second hour. Yep. But I'm looking forward to Godzilla -1, man. I just watched. I liked the first one so much, I went out and bought the Blu-ray, and I watched it over the weekend again. And I usually don't buy things like that. That's a really good movie. Like, it's not just. It is a Godzilla movie, and Wayne, you know. That movie is very well done, the story that it tells. And it's just, they do it in subtitles because it's purely Japanese, and they were terrific. The production crew and they cared so much about it. It is really, really well done. Yeah, Godzilla -0. Great movie. Great movie. The old Godzilla, the man got stuck in the suit and the other stuff I don't think I should say. Fair enough, Murder Drugs. Or since we have severe Dane Branage, VT at Indiana. Yeah, Kurt Cignetti, now, he's getting some criticism yesterday. Yes, Godzilla Minus Zero is the sequel, right? Coming out. I think I had it backwards, but you're right. Yep. So Godzilla Minus One and now Godzilla Minus Zero. Great movies. And I know the second one's going to be good too. Like you can just tell already. The short trailer they released, really good. Really good. Because Indiana, he's pontificating, saying all these things, and yet you look at Indiana's schedule and he's kind of doing what James Franklin's doing, unfortunately, with Virginia Tech's non-conference. It's not very challenging. And I think fans probably don't want that, I mean, especially with we know we're going to have an expanded playoff, and we know it's going to be 24 teams at some point, right? I would want my football team to be better, playing better teams in the non-conference. It's not going to punish me as much. I don't think you gain anything. If you go look at Indiana's next 3 or 4 non-conference schedules. Yeah. There's a lot of Ball States in there. A lot of Ball States. And Tech shouldn't be playing the Citadel. Tech shouldn't be playing the Citadel. They shouldn't be playing VMI to open the season this year. I mean, we can get into that again, but it does nothing for the team and it does nothing for the fans. This isn't the old games against VMI in the 50s, the 60s, 70s. This isn't where we are anymore. After those 2 picks, if Dwight had any question, I need psychotherapy. I just removed all doubt. I think we all do, Morris. I think we all need psychotherapy. But yeah, it's interesting. I think Cignetti seems to intentionally be putting himself out there as the villain, although to me he's not. I'm not saying that he is, but people are trying now to, and especially people that are associated with the SEC, trying to put him as the villain. I think what he's doing is he's taking the pressure off of his team and putting it on him a little bit. We'll see how they are here following up a championship with a new quarterback. Because the old quarterback was absolutely sensational. The old Godzilla was interesting. Yes, interesting indeed. For the technology at the time, the lore of it, when you look back at it now, it looks kind of silly. The Godzilla Minus One was not silly in any way, shape, or form. Now, the ones with Godzilla and Kong, those are silly. I like them just because they're great popcorn movies. They're not good. I love the modern Kong. Like, what was the first one? What was the first Kong that came out a few years ago? They went to the island and they had all the weird creatures. Wayne, what was that first one called? Kong Island? Skull Island? Skull Island? Had Brie Larson in it. That's really all I cared about. I mean, Brie Larson. I mean, come on.
My. Oh, no. Oh, no. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah. Lots of requests to use Old No Guy more, so I'm going to try to do that. The greatest call in the history of sports broadcasting. Marva, Brian Siegler, and Mike Burnip today. Practice is underway, huh? Tech football practice. That's what August brings, right? High school practice is going. Colleges are going. 12-hour yesterday for Coach Grantham. Loves it. NFL camps. We got the Hall of Fame induction, Hall of Fame game coming up. Then you got preseason games, and I know they don't count, but it's just great to kind of see football. I want to see Mendoza out there in Vegas. I want to watch him get some snaps. I want to watch these guys. I know. By the way, Wayne, did you see the announcement yesterday by your Cleveland Browns? See, this is why you don't have a fully functioning franchise. This is why your franchise continues to flounder and be one of the two old school NFL teams that never appear in a Super Bowl. So they're building a new stadium with a retractable roof, and they're going to put turf, field turf in it, and not grass. They made that announcement yesterday. So you have the league players who want to play on grass, and the Browns are going to build and they've announced it proudly, we're putting turf inside our new stadium. Wow. So Wayne's going with Oklahoma, Ohio State. All right. Ohio State's showing up a lot. Skull Island, yeah. I like that Kong. Now, the ones where he's battling Godzilla, they're silly, but you know what? They're fun. Who cares? They're not good like -1 was. Can you drink 15 beers and do a backflip? What's up, Tuxie? Tuxie? Like my Uncle Leroy. There's always one Uncle Leroy, right? He was a hero at a party for a whole week. Then he tried fire breathing a week later and ended up with no eyebrows. What a best first post ever, Tuxie. Please subscribe. Oh, my goodness gracious. Chris, is that true? Christopher Lester, 56 years old. Happy birthday, my friend. Let's give him a nice, oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just for you, Chris. Just for you.
My. Oh no! Oh no! That was out of nowhere.
56? Are you kidding me? Sorry. Happy birthday, brother. You make this a much better community. Yes, you do. Oh, 76 King Kong. Yeah, Jessica Lang. Oh, my goodness gracious. When Jessica Lang's in the water and he's trying to anyway. That's right. Any King Kong movie's a must see. I like the new Kong. I do. Thanks, Tuxie. That was a great post. Appreciate that. You're welcome, man. Anytime. HBD Regal 1. No, that's great. I hope you have a great day, man. Yeah, they do. Let's look it up. Prometheus. Because I don't know off the top of my head. This is why you have this, by the way. Thanks to Jimmy McKenna, who picked this up for me, brought it to the bash. That was very nice, Jimmy. You're the man. Got Radford season tickets. Ohio State. Oh, look, there's Ball State. But yeah, Texas, Kent State. But then you get into it. Illinois, they're at Iowa, Maryland, at Indiana, at USC, Oregon, at Nebraska, Michigan. I mean, Ryan Day's 82-12. And people don't want him to be the coach there anymore. Who does Indiana play this year? North Texas and Howard and Western Kentucky. That's Cignetti's first 3 games. Their first 4 games are at home. They play Northwestern. Boy, Indiana's going to be right back in it, aren't they? They got nothing. Wow. Josh Hoover, the new quarterback. So North Texas, Howard, Western Kentucky, Northwestern. They're at Rutgers, at Nebraska with Matt Rule. They host Ohio State. They go to Michigan. Those are your back-to-back games. Those 2 weeks, they have to navigate that. Minnesota. They host USC on the 14th, and then they go to Seattle to take on Washington. Then they finish with Purdue. Yeah. Ryan Day is missing out on that dyed beard sponsorship. Does he know how good it would look with Chris Lester out there? Well, see, we don't want Chris. Oh, New Zealand. Hey, Tuxie, guess what? We have 2 other New Zealand subscribers. So you're now the 3rd. Welcome. Yeah, but Chris doesn't. I think Wayne. I think you're the one who said it. He looks regal, doesn't he? Yeah, he looks regal with his gray. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Yeah, never diet. Chris just looks. Yeah. I don't know why Ryan Day. Ryan Day looks like one of those. Was it? I don't know if they were 10 or 12 inches tall. The older G.I. Joe full size statues. That's kind of what he looks like. Ryan Day, right? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I am wrong. I wonder how things are going at Marva's house now. Let me make sure she's with us here this morning. I just sent it. I'll send it again, Marv. Marva's got this new house, and she's got the worst internet ever. I'm going to send it to her one more time. There we go. Yeah, it is awful. His beard game is awful. I don't understand that. I don't know why you think he fills it in with a Sharpie before every game? Maybe he does. He might. He might fill it in with a Sharpie before every game. That's all right, Tuxie. We all need a rich uncle. Hey, we all need Marvin Miami. What's going on, Miss Marva?
Hello. I couldn't help but overhear that conversation.
Yeah, which one? Which part?
I've always thought he looks like a villain from a movie, like from a superhero movie.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean,
Let me see.
Can't you see him? He's like the mastermind behind the evil plan, and I mean, this is no comment on. I don't know the guy. I'm sure he's a wonderful person, but I just mean the look that he gives reminds me of a villain from a movie.
He does. Oh, I've got the perfect one too. Look at this. Look. Yeah, see? That's like him trying to pretend that he's a happy, good guy, and then deep down below, he's got a bomb getting ready to nuke the city. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. He's always giving me that vibe.
Oh, thanks, T-Bird. Appreciate that. She said to be stuffed down. All right. Sorry.
It's okay.
Chris Lester's birthday, Barbara. You want to wish Chris a happy birthday?
Happy birthday, Chris. Hope all of your birthday wishes come true.
Well, it already has. He's with us this morning. So what else is going to happen better than this? I mean, come on.
There's no way to top it, right?
What's going on in your world? What do you want to talk about today?
Well, so many things. So, last time we talked about our little lizard friend. He has come back at least once. Yes.
Yeah. All right. We said that would probably be the case. What did he do? Did he get in the house? Is he in the house?
No, he's not in the house right now. He's never been in the house. But I did go outside. I looked out and I didn't see him. And then I went closer because I was looking from upstairs. I went downstairs and he was back in the yard. I think that's just a sunny spot for him to hang out. But when I went to look at him, I don't know if I happened to make noise or something. He just scurried off to the neighbors. And we had one other situation where my husband and my daughter were out and she was on her scooter and he's just walking around and a guy stops them in a car. So he's not walking he stops his vehicle. He says, "You guys need to know there's a vicious lizard loose in the neighborhood." So
a vicious lizard.
That's how he described him. So I don't know. He doesn't look vicious, but he doesn't really look friendly either. So I don't know.
Maybe you should try to feed him and get on his good side, and then maybe he'll remember that.
No, I want him to maybe he's someone's pet. I don't know. It's very strange.
He might be. He might just be somebody's pet they're letting out in the back area there, right?
Maybe. I don't know. But we'll see. Let's see what else is going on. We talked about this last time. There's still problems swirling around the UNC football team. I'm just
no, you don't say. You don't say.
I mean, we briefly talked about this last time because it's beyond, just Michael Lombardi. It's the possible, NIL violations and someone had said, well, you can't be surprised. Belichick did all that cheating with the Patriots, and I was like, I don't know, but I mean, if that's just the one of the most disturbing things about this, that if that is true, if Carolina was up to something with NIL, it's like you don't see the results.
Well, here's the thing. Well, explain this to me, and you're gonna be proud of me because I'm gonna defend Carolina here. Mm-hmm. Why are there any rules trying to be enforced by the NCAA regarding pay for play and NIL? I don't there are no rules. It's like Todd Grantham said yesterday, there's supposed to be a salary cap. There's none. There's nothing anybody pays attention to. So what rules are supposedly being broken now, right? I don't understand. There's no rules.
It's hard to say. I mean,
it's anarchy.
Yeah, I was reading about, how Congress is trying to get involved and trying to set some guidelines here. And it seemed like even with the guidelines they're trying to set, there's no guarantee that's going to happen. But also, there's lots of loopholes there still. There's
Correct.
Still lots of loopholes. I don't even understand the point of that unless they want to say, oh, we tried something. Is that it? Are they really trying to reform? Or it's just to say, we did this. But even looking at it, there's still so many ways for big money to get involved again. And so it's not anything, I don't think, even if it were to pass right now, and again, no guarantee that's going to happen, I don't think it would make that big of a difference, really.
No.
So
and this whole college act, all of a sudden now the SEC and the Big Ten tried to keep it alive again late on Sunday, and I didn't hear anything about it at all yesterday.
Yeah, and it's got to be done by Friday, is what I hear. Or
now it's right. So who knows? Who knows?
And the article I was reading about it said, really, it's not that they care so much about reform. It's that they want to stay on top, and they want to make sure that smaller conferences cannot overtake them. It doesn't seem like, it's not really about, this thing is so corrupt, let's get in and reform it. It's like, no, let's make sure that some of the things that we've been doing, they can continue, but we don't want to make it possible for, say, an ACC to compete with us when it comes to this type of thing. So I don't know. I'm not very hopeful about it. Like I'm saying, even if it does pass, I still don't think it's going to change that much. So
I don't either. Because then you're going to go back to just figuring out a way to beat that system too.
Yeah. And I mean, but also at the same time, I feel like we can't really wring our hands that much about this because we know there's always been this type of stuff that has gone on. Um, now it's just out in the open. Before it was under the table, right? So, mm, we just kind of all look the other way because we enjoyed the product on Saturday, and so we just. But now things are just the numbers are blowing people away. But we don't know what those numbers were in the past. We just kind of had a sense that this has been going on, and they're former players who now that, of course, they know they can't face any kind of penalties, have even sort of hinted at these things, right? That these things were going on. So just try to enjoy the games, right?
That's what I'm trying.
Enjoy the
Exactly.
games.
I'm trying to get into that
Move on.
mode. I'm trying to get into that mode. I'm trying to suspend the whole belief. Just get into reality. Okay, we know how bad it is. Let's just focus on the shots we're going to see out of camps right now in the NFL and college. We're going to see highlights of guys throwing the ball around. Let's just try to get into.
Let's just try to get excited because, I mean, we all, if you are a fan of college football, we're all, I think, we're inching closer, to those big games. And when the first games happen, everyone's just going to be, it's going to be the same. I think people are going to be focusing on their team and what's happening on the field, the excitement of being in the stadium, or if you're watching at home, that's what the focus is going to be on. And people are going to just not even think too much about what's happening with the money.
Yeah, right.
I just
Exactly.
don't know what we can do about it. So, I mean, I hate to be like that type of attitude, but it's just
No.
kinda like, that horse is out of the barn, Rick. I don't know.
I know. It just is what it is. The bottom line is when we're spending 3 hours watching the game, that's the two teams we're watching. If it's your favorite team, there's our team, right? We'll see how we
Right.
do. And there's their team, and we know what advantages they may have had or disadvantages. Let's just go play the game and let the
Because we
scoreboard.
also
Yeah.
know that even with a lot of money, it's more than money. Of course, money helps. Money always helps, right? In any situation. But still, we've seen some teams spend and spend and spend, and they're still not winning. So
Right.
it's more than just the money. It's it's the coaching.
Valuation.
How,
Yeah.
how good are you at recruiting? Because even with the money deals, there's still certain programs that people want to go to, and there's certain programs that people, I'll go there if I can't get anything better. So it's not all about the money.
It's not. 100% it's not. You got to have good people that are in control of it making those decisions.
Yeah.
And Kirby Smart, for instance, right? Georgia, it's a little easier. They may not be the best example, Ohio State, but they obviously have good evaluators to go along with the immense amounts of money they have to spend
And
on their
they
roster.
have had that for a long time.
Right. And they've had it for a long
Nothing
time.
new. Yeah.
Because you're right. That's a great point. You can have all this money, but if you're
Sometimes
not picking
it
the right
runs out.
guys, yeah.
Or you bring in a bunch of guys and then they just don't gel or whatever. You have to. There has to be a lot of thought behind this.
Happens
to
a
make it
lot.
work.
Happens a whole lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So even see in professional sports, there's some teams that are just committed. They're not going to spend the money. They're never going to spend the money, and you feel bad for their fans because they know every season they like at the beginning of the season everybody has hope, but there's some fans that they know their team's just not going to do it. Their ownership's just not going to do it, and then there's some other teams that are just constantly throwing money around, and sometimes it leads to success, and then sometimes it doesn't, and everyone's sort of laughing at you because you spend all this money, but your team is still not good.
So let me ask you an honest question here. So I know how much you love Carolina. We have a lot of Tech fans that watch the show and they love Tech, and you're that way about Carolina, and then some. You're a grad, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
So when you look at the football program, which I know you love, now not as much as basketball. I know that's the bell cow.
I still love it.
I know you do, but and it's a mess. Let's just say with Belichick, it's been a circus. So, and I know the answer what it's going to be, but I know you want them to do well.
I want them to do well.
Let's say they have another 3-win season. That'll probably
they had a 4-win season last year.
Oh, that's right.
Let's
That's
get it
right.
right.
If they have another 4-win season, that would probably expedite the process for Belichick and that whole mess to be gone.
Just be over.
So
we all kind of forget it ever happened.
Exactly. And then you can start over with the new AD, and you can go find somebody to come in and maybe build the program the right way. Right.
Yeah. And I mean, they're willing to spend money. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been to a Carolina football game. But
I have not been down there. I've not been down there.
Go see a game in Keenan Stadium. It's beautiful. They have nice facilities. It's a fun place to go and watch a game. I mean, pleasant. You know what I mean? It's not, one of those hallowed fields that we talk about with certain teams, but it's really nice. It's beautiful. And they do have nice facilities, but you have to get the people in, and you have to get the right people in, because it's a different place at Carolina, where the basketball is always going to be king. And so you have to understand this and be cool with that. And there's a lot of people that might not be cool with that, because they're used to, most places it's the football team, right?
Yeah.
So that's a problem you have. I don't know what's going to happen this season. I'm hopeful, but I'm always hopeful, Rick. I'm hopeful that we will all be pleasantly surprised, and Carolina will make some noise and be in the conversation about football again. I mean, that would be nice, but I don't know. It's just
it doesn't feel like that's going to happen. It just doesn't.
I'm just trying to be hopeful, Rick.
I know.
It's August.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me, when I still cared about them, it reminded me when UCLA hired. What am I losing? I'm losing. Oh my Lord! I've already lost. That's my brain does that nowadays.
You just lose things.
Chip Kelly. And I thought, okay, Chip Kelly, now he's got a good reputation. He failed miserably in the NFL, but he's a great college coach. And then you really got into it, like 2 weeks in, you realize how he butchered recruiting, how he was bad with PR. He started wearing black. They said, no, aren't you wearing UCLA colors? And he never would. And then they were bad on the field. It never worked out. And
that's so strange.
And then he started to realize, okay, they just need to lose to get him out of there at this point. Right. And I think Carolina fan might be thinking the same thing about, Belichick.
Well, no, I mean, I don't feel that way. I would love to see them win and be able to say, I'm seeing all these predictions, predicted to finish last, just wild stuff. And I mean, I'm hopeful that all those people are wrong. But if it turns out they're not and they don't do well, then I mean, I'm not going to be upset if the Belichick era ends and they try something else. So.
By the way, did you see what I did to celebrate the honor of your new friend, the lizard? I put up a Godzilla just for you to see.
I love it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it really is just part of life down here. I mean, a few days ago, there was a small lizard in one of our bathrooms, and it just happens. Like, it really just happens, Rick. I don't even freak out about it. It's like, okay.
Is it like your lizards are like spiders for the rest of us? Yeah, look, another lizard.
Don't worry. Like, small spiders get in the house, nobody freaks out. Or, most people don't freak out about that. It's just the same thing. The little lizards are everywhere here. Just when you see a big one.
Yeah, when you're like, you see the head come out of the toilet. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that.
Say that, Rick. That hasn't, I read about that, unfortunately.
They travel through the sewage systems.
They do. Yeah. But I mean, I would advise anyone, never just sit down on a toilet. Always look.
Are your allergies bothering you again?
Yes, really bad. I'm so sorry.
Where did you move to a place that's not allergy friendly for you?
It's just the time. It's the time of year. It's really bad down here.
No, you're fine. You don't have to apologize.
I actually take medicine daily for this stuff.
Okay.
This is me with the medicine. Imagine if I didn't take it.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You don't have to apologize. I just thought,
it's just. I always have to apologize because I feel like people think, oh, she's getting so emotional about the Tar Heels. No.
You get uptight when you just can't handle the emotions talking about Bill Belichick.
I know. I can't. But he still has a chance, Rick. He still has a chance to.
Yeah.
He has a chance to turn things around, right? We're not going to give up hope.
Sure.
In August, anything can happen. That first game against TCU in Ireland.
Wayne asked, do you think that the water jugs have Ensure inside of them for the coaches down at Carolina?
Oh my gosh. That is so mean, Wayne. That is so mean. I hear Belichick's race cry.
Jordan must think so. Jordan must think so.
Yeah, not too old for Jordan.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, do we have to bring her up every time?
money doesn't
I did
get
not
old.
bring her up.
No, you did not. No, you did not. I'm surprised that's still a thing. I really am. I'm
It must be
surprised.
true love.
I'm very surprised that that's a thing. I really am. Still, but hey,
There've been strange couples, right? All
Yeah.
kinds of kind of strange
Yeah.
couples. You outsiders don't see it. I mean, I always say the only people who really know what's going on in any relationship are the two people in it, right? We don't know.
correct,
We're
correct.
just speculating.
Just like Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini, right? We only know what they.
Stop. That was funny. When he had that press conference with the puppy.
Jeez, I know he shows up with a dog. I mean, just come on,
I mean,
just stop.
I know it has to be a very uncomfortable situation, though. Seriously, for him,
Yeah.
everybody, players are being asked about it. It's like I don't want to talk about this. I'm sure most of the players, they just don't even want to think about their,
No, players won't care. I agree. Players
they
do
don't.
not
They don't
care.
want to think about it. They don't want to be asked about it, and they've all been saying the right things, but it's just like it is a distraction.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk about that type of thing, but you kind of have to. So.
T-Bird says
Oh
that
my
a runny
God,
nose,
stop.
is the first sign of a lizard bite during sleep.
It's just seriously, it's the allergies are so bad today, and I was thinking about that this morning. I'm like, oh please don't let it be really bad during the show because it was bad when I woke up. But at least I'm not sneezing anymore, guys. Okay, that makes it even more unpleasant. No sneezes.
What would you do if you were like? What if you and your husband were getting ready to go to bed, and all of a sudden you saw the covers moving, and he was inside the house, the lizard.
First of all, I think I would know he was inside. I don't know how he would get in, Rick. There's no way.
Through the
There's absolutely
sewage,
no way.
through the potties. That's where he's coming in.
We always keep the lids closed.
Well, he can. He's a big guy. I'm sure he could probably prop it up.
Stop that. Please stop. Okay? Stop it. I do look outside a lot. And my son was like, can I go out in the backyard yesterday? And I was like, well, let me go look first. I looked, I didn't see him. I'm like, okay, go out. But it's like
I got a question. I'm scared to ask you here.
Mhm.
Is your daughter starting high school this year?
No. Gosh.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
She's only in 7th grade, Rick. Please.
Okay, well, I wasn't quite sure. Well, she's 6'3" like you already. So
Yeah,
I'm thinking,
So people
okay.
might think that, but no. 7th grade, 12 years old.
So we're not that old yet. We're not that old yet.
February, and is already talking about, and has been talking about for years. I'm not a child anymore. I'm a preteen. And I said, that's just
Whoa.
an older child. What are you talking about?
That's right. You're just an older child, right?
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Phew. Yeah. I was a little worried there for a second.
No high school.
Oh, Wayne says, so she will start dating now, huh? Oh.
What? Who starts dating at 12?
It'd be like going to a sock hop.
Oh, well, her school has had dances like last year in 6th grade.
There
She
you
did
go.
not go to any of them. It wasn't me. I would have been, she wanted to go. I'd be happy, but she doesn't. She's kind of shy. She didn't want to go. So I don't know how she'll feel about them this year.
Yeah. Well, she wants to go. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, it's at the school. There's like a million teachers and chaperones there.
T-Bird says it's a well-known fact, documented, that lizards like to drop down from the ceiling tiles onto the dinner table. So there you go.
You guys are so mean.
Well, they're trying to help you. I think they're just trying to get you, lizard conscious.
In the bed, they're like falling from the ceiling. But the little one, seriously, like the one I saw in one of the bathrooms, it came.
A little salamander.
It was on the wall, and I was trying to catch, and I usually like a shoebox is good to catch them in. I think I was home alone at the time because usually it's just, you just call your husband. Can you go take care of that, please? Because I don't want to deal with it. But yeah, the little ones are nothing. You just pick them up, not with your hands. I mean, you scoop them in a glass, a cup, and you take them outside. That's what I do. I mean, I don't like to be inhumane to the little buddies, I call them.
Wayne says scientists have also said that lizards are very attractive to the color light blue, so we might want to keep an eye on that.
That is not true. Stop it.
It's science. Apparently, it's science.
I know. Do you still have that? Do you still play science?
I know it's science. Yeah, I got to find all that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could. I just got to get. Yeah, I haven't done all that.
Yeah, but no. Lizards, they're happiest outside. They're happiest in the sun. Okay.
But yet they find themselves inside quite frequently.
Yeah,
It sounds
I don't
like.
know. I mean, I did open a window once. I was just trying to get some air in.
Well, don't want to
And
do
there was a
that.
lizard outside, and the lizard came in briefly and then went back outside. It was a small one. It was just because I think I shocked it when I opened the window because it was hanging out on the ledge outside. So it's just like,
You're
oh
just
my
hanging out on the ledge. Was it really?
Yeah, I mean that's what again. They're like spiders here, Rick. They're just hanging out. They live here. They're all over, and you get used to them. The little ones, you get used to them because you know that they are harmless. They're harmless.
Are your kids cool with that? They understand about lizards, or they freak out
Yeah,
still?
I think they're pretty cool. Like my daughter even likes them. Yeah, it's weird, but yeah, she
It's
wants
weird.
to keep one. I'm like, no, nope, they belong outside. That's where they live. I don't even. Well, we guess we'd have to buy a terrarium or something. No. Let them be outside. Let them be free.
Yeah, you could buy a terrarium and just drop them all in there when you get them, right? Hey, look, there's the whole family of them in here now.
No. Then I'd have to feed them. I don't know what they eat. Flies? I don't know. I guess.
I think you need to do a little more research on your lizard friends because I don't think they're going away. Sounds like they're going to be more popular.
They're here, and that's fine. They were here first, right? So I let them live, Rick.
Well, so the big guy made another appearance. Well, you'll see him probably again this week, right? I would think.
Probably. But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, this guy gave us this warning, and the thing is, you're supposed to call, Florida Fish and Wildlife. Nobody's doing that because I feel like by the time they get here, the thing's gone. So lizard races. Wait, what is going on? I was surprised how fast it moved the second time I saw it because it was moving kind of fast.
Yeah, see, that's going to be the scary part when it inevitably gets into your home. You're going to think
not. Rick, stop! It's not going to get in here. That is so crazy. That is not going to happen. It's never going to be in here. Okay, it's outside.
Will you buy him a Lizard Carolina jersey?
No.
If you become friends, you can get right around.
We're not going to become friends. Can you just stop, please? I think you're making my allergy get worse.
What are you talking about? That's true. Yeah, y'all open up with a lizard. Y'all play TCU, the Horned Frogs. Well, it's an amphibian. It's not a lizard, but still very similar.
Still kind of creepy looking, right?
Yeah, the Horned Frog's creepy looking. Yeah.
But we're not afraid, Rick. Okay? We're ready to stomp that thing.
Where's that game at? Is that Ireland? Is that the Ireland game?
Yeah. Growing the game. Right? Lots of
you're growing.
fans, I'm sure.
Growing that game. Yeah, boy. Yay.
Again, my offer still stands. I will go over there and cover the game for the show for you.
Will you take the lizard?
No. But
will you pack the lizard?
Cover it for free. If you just cover the airfare,
yeah.
I'll go over.
On a serious note, Brian says, wasn't it in Florida a couple years ago where the lizards started falling out of trees when the temperatures dropped into the 40s?
Well,
that's true.
Those are iguanas, and iguanas are up in the trees. And if it gets too cold, they kind of go into like a hibernation state. And so that's why they fall out of the tree. They don't have balance. But once it warms up, like people will think they were dead, so people will freak out, but they're actually not dead. When the temperature warms up, they just crawl off like everything's normal. So yeah, they do have iguanas falling out of the trees if it gets too cold. That's another reason why it shouldn't get too cold down here. It's not good for any of us.
So now Brandon's saying we need to get a sponsor to send Marva to the game in Ireland.
Who's going to send me? I would go.
You couldn't wear Carolina blue. They'd have to be neutral.
Oh, no, I would be neutral. I'd wear black or something.
Yeah, there you go. Or green is Ireland. You could get away with a nice green.
I can't wear green because TCU, isn't that one of their colors?
No, they're purple. They're purple. Black and purple.
They had some green. Okay.
No,
yes, I can wear green for Ireland.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Yeah.
We'll work out your wardrobe attire. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. So really, I'm ready to go. Just let me know. I probably would need to go though like a week ahead just to kind of get the lay of the land, and I could report back on whatever it is that they do in Ireland. But on a serious note, though, I do have friends who've been and said it's a lovely country, very beautiful. So,
Yes. I believe when Coach Foster was on, they just got back from Ireland, if I'm not mistaken. He talked about how beautiful it was. Yeah.
So again, I would make that sacrifice for the show.
I would like to say I would go to Ireland. Yeah. All right. Well, listen.
What is up with the people? I'm just reading the comments.
Well, they care about you, Marva. They don't want anything to happen to you, your fans. You know, they're trying to give
nuggets.
They're trying to give you all the warnings possible about these lizards.
Those,
yeah. You don't eat chicken nuggets?
No.
Really?
Not really. I just don't. I rather have a chicken sandwich. I don't really.
Well,
like
yeah. No, preference.
Nuggets,
yeah.
I feel like nuggets are kind of for kids. I mean, no offense to anybody who enjoys them.
Well, then I'm eating kids' food a lot.
Oh my goodness, you like them?
Certain ones. There's a certain. Yeah. I don't go to like McDonald's and get them.
Okay. Good. Oh my goodness, I'm glad because those are the worst. I don't know what those are.
But like the Chick-fil-A, those are great.
But I just like the chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
I know.
I don't eat the nuggets.
Sometimes you don't want the bread, so you just get the little version.
I think if you ask them, they'll make it into like a lettuce wrap. That makes it healthy.
Well, no, I don't want a lettuce wrap. I don't.
Yeah, let's not eat too much lettuce right now.
I don't want that.
I'm seriously avoiding it.
I hope you have a great week and keep us updated on the Lizard Watch. And I hope your allergies get better.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, it's kind of cool. You can't see it, but your shade back there behind you, it puts off a nice aura of Carolina blue.
Oh, how nice. How nice.
Yeah, it really does. Like
mixing it up, going to different locations. This is not where I'm permanently going to be. I'm actually in my daughter's room today. She's not here. And so I'm sitting at her desk because it's convenient. But yeah, I like that about that.
Yeah, check that out. When you got a nice little Carolina blue. They're going to do that. All right, well, be good, stay safe, and we'll see what happens at Carolina this week to talk about.
Okay. Hopefully something good, right? It's got to be something good. Finally.
I hope so.
Okay.
All
see you guys next time.
All right, be good. Take care. There you go, Marvin, Miami. Nice lizard jokes, everybody. Good stuff from Marva, as always. I got to get Siegel in here. Creed's killing me. Now he wants back out. I got to get Brian invited, then we'll take care of it. Mike Burnett, by the way, to finish it all today. I don't know about you, but I don't like I guess she's right. I guess it's second nature. It's second nature. All right, I'll be back. I got to send that to Siegel. I'll be right back. Come here, buddy. All right. We had 2 Creed issues there today so far. Now Marva's going to be looking for lizards all the time. Brian Siegel joining us from the Boundary Corner. Sorry, Brian, it's a little late getting you the invites. It's Marva's fault. She started talking about lizards being in her house, so we got intrigued. So,
hey, you know what?
Yeah,
that's a topic that I'd like to dive into. So
let's do that. Let's get into lizards being in your house. I mean, she gets them up. She's down in Florida, so she says, "quote It happens all the time." I don't think I like that.
You know, I'd have some mixed feelings about it. I've got some cats in the house, so they'd be just chasing those things all over the place.
Sure.
So that would be interesting at times and annoying at other times. So
yeah, exactly. You're just sitting there watching a tech game, and all of a sudden, here comes a chase right in front of you.
Exactly. All of a sudden, like it's happening in front of me right now. Like that would be fun.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I got you. By the way, today is Christopher Lester's birthday.
Yes, it is. Happy birthday, Chris.
50s. Yeah. think he said 56.
Hey,
Whatever it takes, man. Keep on rolling. Keep on rolling.
we gonna celebrate you, buddy.
Absolutely. We celebrate Christopher Lester. Hey, you got a show tonight, right?
We're actually going tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. Okay,
Tomorrow night.
that's all right.
Tomorrow night. Yeah, but-
Everybody has to reconvene. I get it.
I told you the schedules have been crazy. We've had one on a cruise, one in Charleston, one out west doing some off-grid camping. So it's been a schedule nightmare, but we got it going. We're lined up. We're locked in, and starting tomorrow, we'll be going every week until probably sometime in December. So.
All right. Well, yeah, because it is time. Yeah.
Buckle up, baby.
Indeed. Feetball is here, as I used to call it growing up. It is here, and practice is underway in Blacksburg, and we're going to start to see nice images that they select for us to see.
Yeah.
But hey, nonetheless, we get to see guys in uniform. That's kind of cool, huh?
I will take a curated selection over nothing. So bring it on, baby. Bring it on.
Yeah, I need to figure out. I saw the media schedule they released, and I don't know. I don't know if it's media friendly or not. I have to ask some of those guys if they liked it or not. I couldn't really tell. Could not really tell if it was good or not. Did you see?
I don't want to bury the lead for later in the week, but apparently the football alumni thing that Ty Smith put together went really well. So
good. That's good to hear. It's good to hear. Well, I'm glad that you are going live tomorrow night with the gang, and a lot to go. What are you guys going to focus on with the start of camp now, officially underway?
We've got a few things we're going to talk about. One of the things that's kind of been a topic of conversation the last few weeks, based on Brian White's comments, is let's talk about the top 5 concerts that you want to see in Lane. So we'll have a conversation on that. I think we got some good options here, but we want to hear from the listeners and see what they think. We've seen a bunch out there. We saw what Brian White kind of floated out there as, his initial top 5 there. So we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about kind of what we've heard out of camp so far. We'll break down a little bit of how the rest of ACC Media Days wrapped up and kind of where we are at this point. From a overall just vibe check at the start of camp, and we'll just have some fun from there.
I think the vibe's going to change for Franklin now that camp's here. Like, just the impression I get is that the team is not something he's real happy with right now. From our little brief interaction over at the chamber, I don't think that changed over the summer. So now he's got to get them together and start to see this thing start to look like he wants it to look. So he'll probably be, I'm guessing he's probably going to be a little stoic at times now, which is fine because I want coaches to focus on what's happening and not necessarily what he's most known for, being the PR guy. I don't want to see that part now. I want to see football coach guy kick in now,
Yeah, we're officially we got football to play now. We got football to prepare for. So let's make sure that we're doing all the right things to get ready for that. And put it together and then let it take place on field and see how it goes. I'm with you. I don't think he's 100% happy with where everything is right now, but I think he feels a whole lot better about it than he did when he showed up back in last fall. So, is that a bowl level team? Probably. Is it any much better than that? I think we're going to have to see.
What was your reaction to see Brad Worthman, McSorley all be dismissed? I've gotten a lot of feedback from that. Seems like that's the last of the old guard that's now out the door there in the athletic department.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a necessary kind of move as we kind of move forward. I think this thing is, as Franklin has said, is kind of looking, smelling, feeling like a big time program, and you've got to have guys that are rowing in the same direction within the building. So I think that's just kind of been part of it. We'll see what that looks like and whether or not there's going to be any growing pains with that as we kind of move into the early days of this new regime. But I think if you want to move into a big time program, you got to have guys that know what that looks like and know how that operates. So I think that's a kind of a necessary move.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm just one thing I would put up as a kind of a red flag is this looking at the way to move Tech into a new era, or is this a way to just make it look like, hey, we're going to make sure everybody's on the same page as Franklin?
Yeah, I mean, what we don't want it to be is just rearranging deck chairs, right? Like
correct.
Like we don't just want new faces for the sake of new faces. I mean, if everyone's moving in the same direction and everyone knows what the vision is, and you know, I'll take something that, hey, we're at least going all in on this vision, whether it succeeds or fails. We saw that what was happening wasn't working, so. Like I said, I'm hoping it's not just a rearranging of deck chairs and it's still business as usual. I'm hoping that we're doing different things, not just saying and putting different people in those places.
Well, and one thing about it, they're all gone now. You can't blame them. They're all gone now. Whatever's going to be created now is with everybody that he has put in place. So you're right. I mean, that it's all his now, which is what he wanted. So he's got it. So we'll see what happens with it. So.
Yeah. I mean, and it's one of those things where, I mean, you know, when you want things your way, you're going to have to take the brunt of the responsibility if it doesn't go well. So we just got to hope it goes well at this point.
Yeah, I know.
Again, like I said, we knew what was being done wasn't working. So I'm 100% on board trying something different. I think focusing on the financial side of it is important and something that we hadn't always prioritized. So getting in an AD that is very fundraising and financial focused, I think is a good thing across the board, not just for football, but obviously football is the most important aspect of that because it costs the most money and it generates the most money. But like I said, we had to try something new because what was happening wasn't working.
Do you think a lot of athletic departments like Tech are just going to now just be honest and just pretty much upfront about, look, football, men's basketball that's got to be our focus right off the bat. Anything else is a subsidiary of that. We're not trying to say we don't appreciate these other programs, but let's be honest. It's hard to always invest in other programs when they lose you money annually, right? So football, that's why football is the one and men's basketball is the other that has to be right. You have to make sure they are in the best position to succeed. I think if you want to reach those donation goals, right? It's great to have a good wrestling program like they do, a good track program like they do. Women's basketball has its moments, but these two have to get fixed, and that's been the biggest problem. Other programs have been good. Hell, they just went to a Final Four women's basketball a few years ago, but that didn't really move the needle, did it? Especially financially, like they needed it to.
And you also kind of had the right mix at the right time with women's basketball that I don't think you're going to, put the dice in the Yahtzee thing and throw it and get that combination every year, even if you kept all those pieces together with the coaching staff. And then you got wrestling that's more or less self-sufficient. So, they don't necessarily factor into this discussion in the same way that like women's soccer does or track and field or anything like that. But to your point, I think the biggest criticism that Whit Babcock had during his, probably the first 2/3 of his tenure is that he maybe focused a little bit too much on those non-revs and let football kind of down the vine a little bit. Started righting some wrongs towards the end there. But we got to a point where football was just kind of, okay, well, Beamer was able to do it on a shoestring. We're going to let Fuente, kind of keep the blueprint. And then once some of those pieces started walking out of the door that were a part of that blueprint, the wheels fell off of that thing. And then, we kind of get to where we are today. So, a complete reset and refocusing on what the important things are in this era of college football, I think is a good thing for Virginia Tech.
Well, it's something Coach Elmation pointed out because, he was at Tech and, whether you're talking to Coach Beamer, Coach Foster, whomever, Billy Height, they all say, Coach Elmo was one of the biggest reasons this thing got turned around, at least in the right direction for those 2 years. He says that Virginia Tech allowed itself, and he singled out selection schools as opposed to projection schools. In other words, selection schools are your Ohio States, your Michigans, your Clemsons. Well, Virginia Tech was a selection school under Frank Beamer, as opposed to being a projection school where you're just picking up the leftovers and you're trying to piece together things in your program. And he's talked about that. What you just said, Tech allowed itself to become a projection school without any fight. It was almost like it was just accepted that we're going to, okay, well, we're here. We made 2 bad coaching hires, and now here's where we are. And it's like Franklin was the first one to come in and realize that we're not going to be a projection school any longer, right?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. And I mean, you know, you got to have somebody that has the motion that Franklin does to kind of bring things back a little bit, because I don't think we're at a point right now where you can do this thing slow anymore. I think Virginia Tech,
right,
in particular, can't do this thing where we've got, okay, well, we'll win 4 games this year, and then we'll maybe, you know, stack a couple extra recruits next year and maybe get 5 or 6, and then, you know, get to maybe 7.
Yep.
And because you don't know necessarily where you're going to top off at and how long it's going to take to get there. And you got an impatient fan base. You got a changing college football landscape. There's a lot of things that are still moving while you're doing this slow incremental build. You needed something that was kind of more revolutionary than it was evolutionary to get Virginia Tech back where it needs to be.
See, that's a great point. And because I haven't talked to one Tech fan that will take any less than 7 wins. Because of the anticipation, because of the PR for Franklin, and because of the momentum with the new players, anything less than that is, I mean, whether it's fair or not, if they're 6-6, people are going to go, wow, that didn't really do that. It wasn't much of a ripple. You're right. It can't be like, well, look, that's 3 more wins than the previous year. That's not going to cut it anymore, because everything's been expedited in college athletics where success, money goes hand in hand, and we got to win the arms race. And you can't do that if you're just kind of improving in increments, it seems. That's a great point. It's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, and I think, you know, Franklin definitely set this thing up where this year is, for lack of a better word, is still going to be a kind of a transition year, I believe.
It is. It is.
You know, whether who knows where that ceiling and floor are. I think we're going to see that as, you know, we get further in the fall camp, see how the depth charts settling in. It sounds like, you know, from the things I've heard, that they feel actually a lot better about their offensive line than I think a lot of people are giving credit for, and that's,
I hope so.
That's probably the weak point on the offense. I think they're still trying to figure out who kind of their, you know, 4, 5, and 6 wide receivers are going to be, and I think camp's going to give us a good opportunity to let that shake out. But I think this is going to be a much improved football team from a depth and a fundamental standpoint. I just don't know where that ceiling is going to be. I feel like at the floor it's going to be a bowl team, but where's the ceiling going to be? Could it be? Is it 7? Is it 9? I don't know. I think the schedule isn't bad. You know, you got ESPN and FPI saying that you know, Clemson, Miami, and SMU are the only losses on the schedule based on FPI, but who the hell knows what's going to actually shake out with this thing, because we haven't really seen this team play any games yet. We've seen a spring game where, you know, you looked at the pieces and you're like, okay, well, I feel better about this even without all of them in place due to injury and stuff like that. But you know, spring games don't matter at this point. We got to see what this team looks like against real competition. So I'm excited to see more out of camp and kind of see how the roster's shaking out.
And Wayne makes a great point. I mean, JMU, first team in the Commonwealth in the playoff. That'll never change. And UVA in the ACC title game. He says he can't have that in Tech's backyard if you want Tech to be the alpha male again. And that's exactly right. I mean,
absolutely, because we talk about Virginia Tech being the flagship football team in the state, and that hasn't been the case on the field for a good while. I mean, you really can look back to probably 2019 was the last time you felt like Virginia Tech was maybe the best football team in the Commonwealth. And even then, you started the season in a way that was absolutely atrocious, and you know, you kind of got Hendon Hooker in there and turned things around in the back half, but you know, you still walk away with a season that you don't feel great about because of the way it ended.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't know if I've asked you, are you of the mind that, because I kind of am. I mean, I know it's an easy answer for Tech fan to say no, but it's been that way for a long time. Do we need UVA to start being consistently better? So you have like it was when George Welsh and Frank Beamer were going head to head. That brings a sense of excitement toward the Commonwealth with the power football schools. It was just Tech beating the crap out of them, then Tech, even when they were mediocre to bad, still beating the crap out of them, and UVA was down here. Is it good to see UVA start to give a little resistance as they did last year, to see that be more consistent? That might, in a lot of ways, help Tech continue to build with more aggressively, because all of a sudden they look and see, okay, well, now Virginia seems to have it going again. Or is it better in your mind that UVA continues to be a doormat?
I think a good UVA is a good thing for Virginia Tech, and it's twofold.
I do too.
Number one, it raises the profile of what we're doing in the state, regardless, right? That's the big one. But the other one is that as we're standing right now, the way UVA is approaching roster building is completely different than the way that James Franklin is approaching roster building. So there's not as much competition for the players themselves between the two schools, but you can still get that raising the level of play between the two. So, they're not going to eat off of our plate from a player standpoint necessarily, but it's still something that we can use as a measuring stick and a benchmark to see how we're improving throughout this process. Because before it was like, okay, well, you only won 6 games, but you beat UVA, you should be happy. And sometimes, and that was the sentiment, I think, among some. I mean, I'm not going to point this out necessarily, but a lot of older alumni, like pre-Beamer Day alumni, were okay with that.
Yeah, right.
And I think, and also some of the folks that had never really seen, what a really good Virginia Tech looks like, thinking more of the younger generation. For some of them, that was okay. But I think when we look at people that lived through Beamer, I mean, we know what this can look like when it's done the right way. And the right way doesn't necessarily have to be the Beamer way, but we know what it looks like when it's done the right way.
Right. Yeah.
And I think we just want to get back to where we're consistently in the discussion for those ACC championships every year. We're playing meaningful games in November. And every 2 to 3 years, let's make it to the ACC title game and give that thing a go and hopefully win one of them. And you win one, you're in the college football playoff, and that raises the profile even more. And that's kind of where I think we need to be. I don't know if we'll get to where Miami is right now, where they're getting, top 10 classes every year, and they're going to be in the discussion for ACC championships every single year. But we just need to be playing meaningful games in November every year, where it's coming down to those last 2 games as to whether we're going to be playing in Charlotte or not.
Well, I had a texter a couple weeks ago say, when I did my schedule prediction, and I had them going 7-5. I could see 8-4, but I had them 7-5. And they were like, look, be honest, if Tech wins 3 or 4 games and beats UVA, that's a good season. And I'm like, no, it's not. I said, so I asked the question. I said, all right, so you're saying if Tech went 4-8 and you somehow upset UVA in Lane Stadium that last game, beat them, which would be an upset if you're going into that game with 3 wins, you would be satisfied, as opposed to them winning 8 games, and let's say one of the 4 losses is UVA, right? You're telling me that would be unsuccessful to go from 3 to 8, even though you lost to Virginia, as opposed to going 3 or 4-8 and beating Virginia, right? That's the mindset you need to get out of, right, if you're going to take that next step.
I think we need to get out of the mindset of beating UVA is the thing. I want UVA to be good, and that game has to matter. But at the end of the day, I want to see us win consistently, win the games we should, because that's what Virginia Tech did when it was a really good team, was that it won pretty much all the games that it should win, and it punched up when it needed to.
Yeah, right.
And we need to get back to that point. I mean, if you go out there and if one of your 8 wins is a win against Clemson, or you knock off SMU, I feel better about that than a UVA team that is, doing a crapshoot every year in the transfer portal and hoping that things, gel together that year. If they're still winning 8 or 9 games and they had some luck in the portal again, then okay, fine. It is what it is. But I want to see this thing get back to where we're in that discussion at the end of the year, regardless of what the UVA game looks like.
Exactly. And I think that's exactly what you need to move beyond. And if you do those other things, if the program follows and if James Franklin's right about his vision, they're going to win those games anyway, in all likelihood. So
Yeah.
takes care of itself. So tomorrow night, what time is it? Still 9 tomorrow
9
night?
p.m. tomorrow night. Yep. We'll got the full crew together. It's going to be a good time.
Well, it'll be great. That'll be great. So check them out on all the usual places. The Boundary Corner guys back. They should be energized. They've been vacationing now for, it seems like, 6 months. So everybody's going to be good.
This has been a heavy travel year for the crew, man. This has been a heavy travel year. We've had folks moving around everywhere. So it's going to be good getting everybody back together and having a good time.
Exactly. Well, it'll be a blast, man. Have a great time. And we'll talk again next week. Good stuff, BS.
Absolutely. Appreciate it always, Rick.
All right, man. There you go. Brian Siegler from the Boundary Corner Podcast. Check them out tomorrow night. So I'll be all together talking about all these awesome subjects and more. We start to look foolish only promoting our entrance and then getting boat race. Correct. Yeah, and they'll be heavy on that for that VMI opener. First time James Franklin coming up. Well, Dwight and a lot of the former players were saying get rid of it, right, Wayne? Until we get the program back, get rid of it. That's a valid thing, especially coming from guys who helped build the program. If they didn't want to see it anymore, how exciting can it be to go out? Remember, I don't know who, somebody might remember his name. I don't. The Miami quarterback a few years ago. Remember what he said about coming into Lane Stadium? That was back when we were still on radio, and we talked about it that week. And, they don't get much of a crowd down in Coral Gables, at least student support. And he was asked during the Miami press conference about going into Lane Stadium, your thoughts. And he said, actually, I'm really excited to go up there. No, it wasn't Denzel Ward, I don't think. But he said, it's a great playing surface. And he goes, and after they do their Sandman Open, if you get out on them, the place gets pretty quiet. It's a really good place for a visiting team to play. There's not a bigger insult for a home stadium than to hear the opponent say, yeah, we can't wait to get up to Blacksburg. There'll be some energy there, and we know we're going to beat them, and the crowd won't be a factor. I mean, it shouldn't be a bigger insult. You guys got to put up with the open. He made some comment like that. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Ward, Brandon. I don't know. Who was the quarterback last time Miami came to Blacksburg? I don't remember his name. But nonetheless, we talked about it a lot then. And as a matter of fact, shortly thereafter, we had Brent Pry on the show. And he talked about making Lane Stadium a place where teams just did not want to come play anymore. And it has, and Dwight's talked about it how long? It used to be a destination that no team wanted to travel to. You came to Lane Stadium, especially during a specially televised game on a Thursday or Friday night, Saturday, whatever. You knew you were going to go out of there in all likelihood with an L. And even though the Tech fans are great and supportive, it's only human nature when you see the other team get up a couple of touchdowns. Remember how quiet the place was last year against Vanderbilt and Old Dominion? You could hear Old Dominion fans cheering on television as they just kept piling it up last year. Tech fan, that's the game Tech fan left at halftime. So that needs to come back. You don't want to ever hear opposing quarterbacks saying you can't wait to play in Lane Stadium. That should never happen. You think teams ever going to say, yeah, we can't wait to go to the Horseshoe? We can't wait to go play the Buckeyes in the Horseshoe. We can't wait to make a trip down to Athens. We love playing between the hedges. Can't wait to go to Tuscaloosa. No. It could have been Denzel Ward, Brandon. I don't remember. You might be right. You might be right. Where's Frankie? Frankie, where are you, Hurricane guy? Thanks to Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. Manufactured parts from your home. The NRV Super Bowl, 540-382-5525. Call about joining a league. They're forming now. Men's, women's, mixed leagues. They're going to have kids leagues. It's awesome. Community supportive and supportive of this program. We had a great time at the Bash. People still talking about the Bash. Sundown Electric, that's the Smith Brothers down in Elliston. We're going to get the T-shirt availability to you because I know people were asking. It is a cool logo. Sundown Electric, one of the best reputations of any business in our area. See, this is what people want on their shirt. Look at this thing. How cool is that? You got the big sun. You got the two work buildings. That's nice. Very nice. ReadySetFund.com, BobChrist11 @gmail. Read up on the Ready Set Fund, a series of text messages so you or your organization can raise money very quickly in the span of a week. Just talk to the Floyd County girls softball team. Professional Door Incorporated, residential, commercial garage doors. They've been doing it for 40 years, 674-0008. And I hope people took advantage of their 40-year month celebration in July and scheduled your preventative maintenance for $40 off. The exclusive banking partner of yours truly and this program, National Bank, member FDIC. Thanks to Larry Ramsey. Very excited and honored they are back as our exclusive banking partner. Nothing but good experiences all the way around from National Bank. BDST fan question of the week. We've gotten several more today. Who's going to be in the national title game? I'll tell you what, Ohio State's dominating this thing as one of the participants. 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning for the attorney Ryan Pry. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg. Thanks to Charles Lee. Look for the blue and black truck. We're presented each and every day by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Thanks to Jonathan Sweet, Tim Miller. They had Jonathan on yesterday talking about the jet ski event. Mark Hunley, McClellan Chiropractic, 155 Walters Drive. Reach out to Mark. Go see him. And Get Your Back Pop, sponsor of our chat room. The video we went over there with yesterday, by the way, or when we went over there, not yesterday, several weeks ago, it got over 700 views. How about that? 700 views. And Family Fencing's back, and we're so happy. They were the first sponsor to join on the new program. We celebrate a year next week, next Tuesday. Family Fencing's 540-200-8294. They got a big billboard on the interstate. Check it out. Mike Burnup will join us here in about 15 minutes. Don't forget the Friday night pit game. Everyone coming, let's go. I am free. I checked the schedule. I do not have a broadcast that night. I got a little worried yesterday when we talked, Morris. By the way, thank you so much, T-Bird. I got your text. Appreciate you, brother. I will reach out here in the next day or two to all those folks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to see maybe if Big Al, if he's around, Hokey Bob. We're going to find out where we can be to do like a little special tailgate for that pit game. Especially if it's everybody's 4-0. Yes, we will. Jimmy, we will. I believe we're having Big Dog Pop on Thursday. As of now, sure. I appreciate people asking. That's good. Get that a lot now. Are you going to give a spoiler-free critique of Spider-Man, or a spoiler-included Spider-Man? Yeah, people want it. I'll put up a spoiler alert. The more I've walked away from the movie, the less I like it. Yeah, there's a lot of things I could say about Fauci, but I'll save that for Pop. I think what happened the other day sums up what that whole government-induced scenario was all about. Yeah. Anybody have any more questions after that embarrassing performance? There's a reason Aaron Rodgers was sticking his chest out yesterday on the McAfee show. But we don't want to get too political, but I think anybody with two eyes and two ears knows exactly what happened if you can just put your bias away. The great human experiment. And you know what? It'll happen again. They'll try anyway. They will try. They will try. Yeah, that was last Tuesday. The second person. Yeah, people thought it was tomorrow. No, it was last Tuesday that Phil Steele was on the program. Last Tuesday. You can go back and find it in the archives of the show on the channel, on the BDST channel. Many people now, by the way, predicting that Tony Romo is going to lose his job at CBS after his DUI arrest. Andrew Marchand is somebody that I follow, writes for The Athletic, which is not the greatest publication, but they fired Andy Bitter, for God's sakes. He has a 10-year, $180 million deal, which is just ridiculous that anybody on TV is making that kind of money. But there are a lot of people now that are saying they believe the winds are blowing to where CBS is going to not bring him back. I don't know, Jim. Jim. We'll see. Might have to roll up my 96 Cherokee XJ I'm buying tomorrow for the tailgate. Oh, heck yeah, Jason. Yeah. Oh, gotta stretch, Chip. Made a bad decision, Chip. I needed to be more like Patrick Mahomes, Chip. I failed him. And you know, I put, there was a short that came out about my take on Romo, and I had people saying, it's not that big a deal. It's not, what are you talking about? He wasn't drunk. Well, he was quite drunk. And it is a big deal because now his employer's thinking about firing him. Just like all the Dodger fans who attacked me yesterday. You can defend your team. It's okay. And you might be the beneficiary of everything that's going on, but it doesn't mean that it's good for business in the game. So next year, when the game is stopped and you're going to look around and you're not going to have baseball to play, then maybe you'll understand what people are talking about. When they look at the Dodgers as the poster child for everything that's wrong with baseball. Right? Am I right? Right? Yep. Yep. Oh, another Dodger fan saying that I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. None of that's true, but okay. That's funny. Any event. So we'll keep an eye on the Romo situation. I think he's a good dude. He seems like a generally good guy. He made a big mistake. A lot of people have made that mistake, but when you're making $180 million, Well, yeah, they are. I guess that's a good way to look at it, Jason. So Rob Manfred is Darth Vader or the Emperor, and the Dodgers are the stormtroopers, the dudes, the captains running the ship and stuff. That Darth Vader. I don't know who Darth Vader would be. Wow, we got 2 opens in one day. From Tony Romo's remaining $72 million CBS speakeasy contract, J.J. Watt is about to clean up and show Tony how to add and subtract. Let's hope Romo gets himself back on track. BST forever. But yeah, it's going to be it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with him. Now, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I don't know. I just know from a network standpoint. From a network standpoint, I understand why it's difficult for them to think they can go on with it. I really do. Yeah, I know. Dodgers fan doesn't want to talk about that, Ryan Pry, the attorney. Who, by the way, will be back with his fan question of the week for year 2. The baseball saved the Dodgers from bankruptcy, and it does. They have such an unfair TV market share. Ridiculous, to be honest. Yeah. J.J. Watt. Yeah, I don't think he's very good either, to be honest with you. Like, I like J.J. Watt. I don't think he's very good on... I agree with you, Wayne. Yeah. Yep. All right. I had to respond. I just had to respond. Sorry. I had to respond. Mike Berger's going to join us here coming up. Nah, I kind of gotten off the Justin Bateman train too. Put it this way. Anybody who's currently in Hollywood, it's hard to get on their love telling half the country how much they hate them. Yeah. Like I said, social media has spoiled, I think, the mystery that used to be around actors and people like that from their fans, things we didn't know about from other people. Who do I have for the NFL Super Team? The Rams. I think the acquisition of Myles Garrett puts the Rams in a stratosphere. I think Aaron Donald's going to play football again this year, too. Yep. Yeah, I just want actors to shut the hell up. I want all those people that don't live in the real world. We don't care about your opinion about anything. You don't understand anything about the world. Musicians, actors, athletes, just you have a right for your opinion, but don't expect your business to continue to be flourishing when you tell half the people of this country you don't care about them. How is that good for business for anyone? That's what the problem with ESPN. They basically have told you they don't do anything for over half the population. So how is that a good model for any business to go out and say, you disagree with me politically, we don't care whether or not you like what we do, we're going to keep doing it. How does that make any sense? Why has Hollywood struggled? Now, the brand of Spider-Man's too big for it to be held down, right? You had a bunch of activists take over as writers instead of people actually trying to entertain. And it's what's happening with our sports leagues, too. It's what has gotten involved, the NFL, the NBA, they've gotten so involved in politics, one-sided politics. People notice, people have two eyes and two ears. Why do you think the WNBA is mired where it's mired right now? After that embarrassing weekend that they had with the messaging it was trying to get across. Just stop. Can we just stop? Can we just entertain? Does anyone care what any actor's politics are? Believe whatever you want, follow, vote for whoever the hell you want, but we don't have to get involved in it, right? Right? We don't have to. Yeah. Just act, show up and act. Go play your games. Get on stage and sing your songs. Who do you think that you're entertaining with all these comments? Social media has brought that out of people. It has. You can't hide anymore. Or they choose not to hide anymore. But it is what it is. And that's where we are with all this. That's where we are with all of this. But anyway, so I got the Rams right now as my super team. Jason. Right now, anyway. Oh. Let me see. We had Mike. Mike, you with us? There we go. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much. How about you, Rick?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Good to see
Good
you.
to
Hey,
see you too.
Hey, it's practice. We're practicing football, Mike. That's what's great.
I know it's coming fast now. They're checking in today, and first practice will be tomorrow. And yeah, everybody's kind of excited and lit up and jacked up about it. Coach Franklin had a Zoom call last night with all the ex-players, Letterman and whatnot. And gosh, you talk about well attended. There were guys on there from the 60s, 70s, and on up to the 2000s. And he was great. He made everybody happy at the end, Rick, because he said, you know, for the longest time, he said, you guys haven't had access to the sideline. And so to all the ex-players, linemen or Letterman, he is going to let them get access on the sideline during the game, during the whole game. So they're going to be down on the field. So the field on the home side there is going to be pretty packed and pretty crowded, I'd suspect. You know, they got to stay out of the box and all that. But he's given access. Yeah, he's given access to all the ex-players to come down there and be part of it. He said, you guys were the foundation of this team, and it's your team, and I want you to be down there and help our guys out and all that kind of stuff. And, boy, the guys just cheered all over because I guess it had been somewhat limited in the past if you could get down there at all. And,
I know.
Yeah, and it is tight. I'll say this, that sideline is not huge. It's not like a lot of places where you have a lot of room because that thing is tight. They built that stadium with that in mind to keep them right on top of the fans. And so there's not a lot of room, but boy, it's going to be even more crowded, and that's going to be fun to watch. See those guys come back and be seen on the sideline.
Yeah, and I know every other program does that. I don't know why Tech at some point didn't allow that anymore, right? I said programs have always done that with their former players, and it became an issue. I don't know why. I know Brent Price started to change that around though himself, right? He did that.
He did.
I know he had those Zoom calls too, talking about that. So
he did, and he limited it to so many players just because of the logistics of having everybody down there. I mean, you know what it's like down there, Rick, on right before the game. You know, you got Enter Sandman, you got the line, you got the band, you got the people, you got the recruits, you got. I mean, it's incredible how many people are down there, and now you're going to add this group to it. So, yeah, they're going to stay out of the way. He was kind of funny about it. He said, now, you guys back in the 60s and 70s, says, I'm not sure if you could score a touchdown anymore, so you better be careful on that sideline and make sure you got some of them young guys in front of you to protect you, because sometimes it gets a little bit out of control when these guys are running routes and go out of bounds and that sort of thing. He says, make sure you're safe and protected. So he was kind of funny about that, making jokes about, I don't know how much eligibility you got left, but don't ruin it on the sideline.
Well, you're going to be watching practice this week, and I always like to ask you, Mike, what do you look for? I mean, what's kind of the things you go in there, understanding it's just kind of getting started again, guys are getting acclimated to getting out there, and eventually you'll be some contact, but what kind of things do you look for this week as things get started?
Just kind of the energy around the program and maybe who emerged as some of the leaders during winter workouts and all that sort of stuff. After spring practice, what's happened all summer, you know, who are the guys that kind of took that step forward, you know, changed their bodies around, look better. And, you know, just kind of that part of it. And then maybe see who's maybe making plays. You know, there's no pads for the first few days, just maybe shoulder pads or whatever. So they're not in full gear for a few days just because of rules. So it's only going to be so much contact, but you want to see, you know, who's out there making plays, who might make the great catch in a crowd, or who might close in, or who might get a sack, that kind of stuff. Just more so the energy and the leadership of what's going on out there, because it'll be fast paced. There's no doubt based on what Coach Franklin did in the spring.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be very fast paced, and I got a feeling that, and I talked about this earlier. You get the PR side of Franklin a lot, but now I think he's going to become a lot more stoic, because you know, last time I was with him, you know, it's been a while back, but he wasn't happy with the football team. He didn't like it. He was telling the people in the chamber, the people who came, they were like, "No, don't expect us. We're not happy. You're not going to come out and see a finished product. We got to get a lot better." I feel like that mode is going to get turned on, even though it's just starting. Maybe a sense of urgency to kind of get that looking the way he needs it to look before the opener.
Oh, that's exactly it. Because he said, he told all those guys last night, he said, we're still in the honeymoon phase. You know, we're undefeated. We got the excitement. I got the fan base all generated and cranked up and all that sort of stuff, but we got to go perform on the field. And he said, you know, if you don't think VMI is a big game, he said, lose to VMI and see how big it was. So you don't want to take any chances to get off on the wrong foot. So he'll have those guys. I think he'll have them ready to play, and the chip on their shoulders is pretty big.
Yeah, that kind of was sideline things for a little while, wasn't it? If that unlikely result were to happen on opening night.
Yeah, that air would go out fast, wouldn't it?
Thanks to Louise Baker, the Louise Baker team, Long and Foster Realtors, 540-320-0382. Tight ends are going to be good. I think that's one of the things that we're going to be very happy to see as the season goes on. I think the quarterback's going to be good. You hear good things about the offensive line, Mike, but I got to be honest, I want to see it. I want to see 5 guys. I don't want to hear about 10 or 12 depth guys. I want to see 5 guys that's going to go out there every Saturday and get the job done. It's been a while, hasn't it, since Tech's had that consistency across the line?
Yeah, because of a lot of different reasons, injuries, guys coming in and out, transfer portal, all that sort of stuff. Not a lot of continuity, and that's where it all starts up front. And he told those guys last night again, you know, it's all down to the offensive line, defensive line. You got to be able to protect your quarterback. You got to be able to open up holes for the running backs. He said, I like our depth at quarterback. I like it at running back, and I like it at tight end. He said, now wide receiver, you know, we got some question marks. We got a couple guys that can play. For sure, but he said those other guys are going to have to step up and give us some depth at wide receiver, and we're not sure just yet who they are. And then on defense, the same thing. He said he really was happy with the defensive tackles, defensive ends. He said, but we need some more depth in the secondary. And so it's going to be a big fall here for some of those guys that missed spring practice. and can get out there and now compete and show what they're all about, because all those guys came in highly touted, but some of them were having surgeries from where they were previously. Some of them on the team last year with Brent Pry had surgeries, missed spring. And so we'll see those guys get out there and compete now. And that should make it more interesting.
Yeah, I think the competition level is going to be exciting for guys, right? Guys are going to want to be challenged and understand that every day you got to go out and make sure you have that same level, right? Because if you don't, coaches are going to notice. I think that's something that needs to come back in the program, and it feels like that's going to be pushed a whole lot here as we start camp coming up.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's touched on that a bunch through all these Hokie Club things we've been on. You know, the competition is going to be so much better because we have more better players, more depth, and these guys all want to play. You know, they don't want to sit and be the backup, and they're getting paid. And you know, the ones that you're going to want to keep, you know, they're going to go out there and compete their fannies off just to try to get to playing time and make a difference. And so, yeah, I think it's going to be very competitive, and I don't think you want to get in a fight, because if you do, you're going to be sitting there running around the field the rest of the practice.
Yeah.
So he is a stickler for penalties, discipline, making stupid mistakes, and that sort of thing. So I think the competition will be good, and I think it'll be clean and upbeat, and be rock and roll time. I know they're excited about it. I saw a few guys Sunday. I was in church Sunday, and I saw Benji Gosnell was there and Troy Hune. And Benji said, I'm in the best shape of my life. He said, we're great. We're ready to go. And Troy Hune, he was that quarterback that came in from California. He's excited about the opportunity to compete. And I think in the big picture, they probably want to redshirt him if they could, just to have that quarterback room kind of locked and stocked. But, you know, it's so hard nowadays because some of these kids, you know, want to play right away, and they're not patient. They see money, big money offered in other areas, and you know, that's going to be a real hard part for James Franklin moving forward.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that there's one thing to have this idea of how you want it to look, but then there's the reality of the current structure. Guys don't want a red shirt more. I don't want to do that. I'm going to go somewhere else and make my money and get a chance. That's going to be a challenge to try to piece the roster together the way he envisions it, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, it will. But, you know, if they get this 5-for-5 rule passed, that'll help in terms of transferring and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, it looks like that thing's gained a lot of traction. I think it will pass. Of course, that situation with the kids who played in 2022, that's going to be interesting. It's like you're going to see Thomas Castellanos, the quarterback at Boston College who went to Florida State, back in the lineup somewhere somehow.
I know. So what do? You have your roster, and all of a sudden he gets put back. You have to take him back. What do? Cut some guy that you've brought in? It's just chaos, isn't it? It's just chaos.
Yeah, it depends upon how much depth you have. I mean, there's a guy that would know the offense right at those two places for sure. And, you know, if you're not happy or you're not pleased with the quarterback situation, you know, maybe you do bring him back. Of course, I'm sure there'll be more lawsuits. And you might be sitting here thinking, oh, is he going to be declared ineligible right before the season and we put all this time into him? That could be another issue for sure. But at least seems like they're making headway. Try to find guardrails, get a salary cap, get this thing more equitable, and try to get this thing back on the track, because it's been the Wild West for too long.
I know. I want people running it, college athletics, to care about it just remotely as much as the fans do. And the people like us that cover it, we want people to show that they actually care about what the whole entity, instead of just worrying about the bottom line. I guess that may never happen, but it's something to kind of show that you want this thing to be done the right way for a change, which it's not right now. So
yeah, well, it looks like these senators got it going, and they made big headway with the news from last Friday and all that with the revenue sharing and the retention of $22 million. I think it was in retention and 48.8 cap. So, you know, I think all those things are positive, especially the 5-for-5, and maybe limit some of the transferring and the conference thing. You know, they capped that off at 19 teams or something. So you can only the SEC or whatever got a couple teams that they could add. Maybe it was 18. I forget. It's 18 or 19. But yeah, so the conference, this stuff where you're getting teams jumping conferences, they've made that a little more difficult as well. So yeah, it should be fun. I like the direction it's going. Just hope they can get it passed and get it cleared and get this thing. It's too good of a product, Rick. I mean, when you think about college football and the viewership, and the product is great, and just like the NFL, and you got to get that thing where it's got a little more kind of a level playing field, if so to speak.
Yeah, to understand the appreciation that it's the second most watched sporting event annually in this country. TV controls it all. Well, college football's number 2. It's going to always outdistance baseball and NBA and hockey. Come on, it is what it is. People are going to watch college football and treat it like the entity that it is, and not just, I don't know. We had our meetings last week, and you hear things that are coming down, and you're just like, it blows you away that there seems to be no self-awareness from the NCAA level on all this. And it doesn't seem to, and the big schools that have the money don't want it to change because they're taking advantage of the system. So
yeah, which was good to see that the SEC and the Big Ten obviously kind of came together on that and gave their blessing to some of that stuff. So yeah, I think that was good to see as well. And hopefully they'll get it right and get it fixed, because it's been just insane what's happened the last few years in college football, and the movement and the guys playing till they're 26 years old and being on 4 and 5 schools. I mean, it's just been ridiculous. So hopefully they'll get traded. They'll get it right, hopefully soon.
I wonder why there was such a change. It almost makes me be very suspicious that the SEC and the Big Ten were against it. Then all of a sudden in lockstep, did they find something in there that's going to benefit them? Because you're right, they came out in joint agreement almost, in unity about, oh, now we think it's a great to Protect Sports Act. I wonder what, I'm looking at that with kind of a, you know?
You can imagine how many pages that thing is to go through and siphon out. But apparently they did make some concessions to the concerns of those two conferences, because they are the big dogs that are ruling it all. No offense to Rick Watson's Big Dog Sports Talk.
No. They're much bigger. They're much bigger.
They got a few more zeros on the end.
Yeah, a few more.
So, yeah, but I think they did make some concessions to get them happy enough to make it so that they understand that we don't want to screw this product up. Let's get this thing back right and help the fans a little bit. They're getting priced out of the business too when you think about ticket prices going through the roof, and it's concessions and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it needs to get fixed.
Yeah, that's a great point. Tickets are up everywhere. I saw an article the other day all across the country, man. Season tickets are just being at levels that no one ever thought they were going to be. And this is one way to try to offset all these constant revenue sharing player costs, right? It's just what it is. That's where it is. So.
Oh, you can remember. I mean, I was over there yesterday. I was doing this little video for the VPI VMI rivalry, what I remembered and stuff. And I was at the Corps Cadets building, and they had some programs over there, and the programs that they had for the game were 25 cents. And tickets to the game were like $5 back in the day when I was playing. I mean, can you imagine that? And now, yeah, good luck. You know, you got to pay a seat license fee and all those sorts of things just because of the way so much has changed. But yeah, back in the day when that game was at Victory Stadium for so many years, it was kind of crazy stuff. So, but before we get off too, Rick, I want to say how much, Coach Lindenberg over there retiring. How about that? That was kind of a news to me that that guy's done a fantastic job with that's not an easy job, as you know. You know much more about it than me. But boy, no football and the challenges that he's had and had to meet through the years. So I thought he just did a remarkable job. Comes from an unbelievable family. So I just want to wish him all the best. I know he's got a little more time left, but God, what a great guy and what a tremendous job he did.
Yeah, it's tough to navigate through our level. It is, and the reality is that everybody at our level, most schools, there are some that have an innate advantages elsewhere, but it's not easy. It's not easy. So we try to make the best of it, and we have great kids, great coaches too. So it all has to come together for the cause. Yeah, no doubt about it. And we want to thank Louise Baker as always. Louise Baker, Team Long and Foster. She's getting giddy about the season. I know that. So.
I bet she is. Everybody else is too. I was in Emporia Sunday, and those people down there were all jacked up. I'm heading to Lunenburg tonight. They got a golf outing. Hopefully the rain will stay away, and we'll have a nice function up there tonight. So yeah, it's a little crazy time of the year on the run, but that's the way it is. Everybody's getting jacked up and ready.
And that's
People
what
already
I'm trying to
planning their tailgates.
I know, and that's what I'm trying to focus on, Mike. I'm trying to focus on that. I get so tired, I get so bogged down with all the problems. It's constant. So I'm trying to just focus on the games. We got practice starting. We got Hall of Fame game coming up this weekend. You got the Hall of Fame ceremony in NFL. We're going to have preseason games. Let's start trying to focus on the game. That's going to be my goal going forward a little bit more.
Yeah, it's going to be here before you know it. The long wait is just about over, and I think it's going to be fun to watch and exciting. And I know that Lane Stadium, that first game on night, is going to be really, really jacked up. There's no doubt. Coming through that tunnel for those new players and Coach Franklin, it's going to be wild.
It will be. It will be. The game probably won't be wild, but hey, at least they'll get off to a good start.
Well, that's what you want. You want to build that momentum. Get that game, get Old Dominion, pay them back from last year, and that was a tough one there. They kind of presented the end of the Brent Pry area, so they got a big chip playing there. And then obviously get the Maryland game, the last non-conference, and you get in conference play next week up at Boston College. So, yeah, you'd love to get off to a great start, get a little momentum, and get that belief that, hey, we can win. We're good. We can beat anybody, because that last part of that schedule is going to be tough, no question about it. And, it's so uneven when you look at it. It's just like
it is.
UVA doesn't play. They don't go out west. They don't play Miami. They don't play Louisville. It's the thing, when you got that many teams, it's just hard to be even keeled about it.
It is.
It's just so crazy how they come up. I still don't understand the tiebreaker system, but I'll let you explain that later.
I don't either. I even asked Teal last week, and Teal went, I don't know.
Hey, if it's Teal time and he doesn't know, look out.
Well, they didn't really explain anything, to be honest with you. Yeah, 100%.
Oh gosh.
So you're traveling tonight. What time are you heading out?
About 2:00.
Okay.
It's a little over a 3-hour drive, and so should be good. Unfortunately, I had a little issue the other night coming back from Emporia. You're out in the middle of nowhere, Rick.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
You go to like Lynchburg or Blackstone and take a right, and then you're on these 2-lane roads with soybeans, and all you see is soybeans, tobacco, and 2-lane roads with potholes. And so I'm driving back, and it's almost dusk. And then all of a sudden, out of there, just blindside me, this deer comes out of the side of the road and hits the side of my car.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Ran into the side of the car. Like, what is that thing looking at? Do you not see a car moving? Like, how do you figure you can't cross the road?
Did it knock you off the road? Were you able to keep
no,
going?
It didn't knock me off the road. We were only going about 40 miles an hour or something, but it was just a 2-lane road, and you couldn't react. I'm just glad he wasn't in front of the car that I ran over it, or took my wheel out, or made it so I couldn't drive. So just left a nice dent in the side of my car, which I didn't.
Of course.
Yeah, those critters, I'm telling you. Then I get home and I'm crawling through the neighborhood because I see about 15 of them.
I know. Yeah, deer hit us. We don't hit deer. Deer hit us. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Crazy.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. And no more tobacco field driving.
Oh yeah. Unless I see some tonight, that'll be it.
Well, safe travels, my friend. Good stuff. And then next week we'll have results of practice we can get into. So that'll be great. That'll be great.
Sounds good, Rick. You take care, and thanks to Louise, and look forward to seeing her here soon, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, she's excited. All right, brother. Stay safe tonight, man. Have fun.
All right, Rick. We'll talk to you later.
All right, there you go. Mike Burnip. I hate that he got hit. Yeah. See, he got hit by a deer. He didn't hit a deer. He got hit by a deer. We talked about that. My dad was always talking about that. We grew up on a farm, and about deer, because they're the most intricate, sensitive animals out there. They know everything about their surroundings, the slightest smell, they sense it, yet they have not figured out the highway and why. It makes no sense. Make it make sense. It makes no sense. You can snap a twig walking in the woods, and all of a sudden you'll see 5 deer run that you never saw because they recognize it. Yet here they are. Oh, look, Here's a highway. We smell humans and diesel and gas, but we're just going to walk across the road. Great question, Low Country. Who would oversee compliance of the cap? I think the salary cap thing is just, you can throw that out there. They do it a lot. No one's going to, I'm very pessimistic, Low Country, that anyone would regulate the cap. I'm with you. Don't see it happening. Do not see that happening in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. So tomorrow we got Keon. We've got Marty Smith, Coach Ragsdale, and I'm going to see maybe Damien can go last hour tomorrow. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Jimbo Fisher. Yeah, put me on that cap. I'll do it in a heartbeat. You don't have to pay me anything. Well, you got to pay me a little bit of something. I mean, again, I've been paid about what? I've been paid $18 million for the last 4 years. I ain't coached a lick. I ain't coached once. It's okay. It's all right. We don't do that down here at Texas A&M. That's not how we roll. We don't go around. We don't go around by players down here. Jimbo Fisher, ladies and gentlemen. He actually said that 2 years ago when it came down to the final two uncommitted 5-star defensive players. And then in unison, they announced the next day they were both going to A&M because of what they got paid. I don't care what they said. We just did a good job recruiting. So we do. We just recruit. Texas A&M recruits itself. Yeah, I'm Jimbo Fisher. I don't need money. He's the guy that I don't see he or Brian Kelly, either one, ever getting a Power 4 coaching job again. Am I wrong? There are just certain guys that once they're let go and they get out that you don't ever look at seriously any longer, like Justin Fuente. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. He tried hard the last cycle while those jobs open. He was going around saying that he would coach at a minimum because he's got all that money. Nobody. I mean, did anybody look at Jimbo Fisher and go, yeah, we should bring him in here? Right? He handled all the pressure in A&M terrifically. Let's get him into our organization now. Like Brian Kelly. You're at Notre Dame, then you embarrass yourself, your legacy at LSU, whatever you had going for you. Remember the fake accent? And you started blaming players. I guess the money creates an ego drive that just is beyond comprehension. It's the only thing I can think of. Saw where the new BC coach, basketball coach, actively got their longtime broadcast crew fired. Did you see this crap? Keon sent it to me overnight. The Boston College, because of their new coach, Luke Murray, didn't want anybody tied to the old staff. Got Kevin Collins and Josh Marr, who'd been there for 9 years. Collins had been there 13 seasons through 3 coaches and 5 athletic directors. And they were told they weren't being retained because of the head basketball coach. Murray never wanted to reach out to them. So already you're off to a rocky start. Listen to this. You already hate BC basketball. Murray said that he didn't want anybody in the travel party who's been part of what was described as the program's losing mentality. How are the broadcasters part of a losing mentality? Despite neither broadcaster having any relationship with the coaching staff other than calling games. Because Murray wants a fresh coat of paint on the entire program. He wants everybody out, doesn't matter the position. Kind of like what we see what Franklin's doing in Blacksburg. Got to be careful with those type of things. Who would want to go work for that guy? Now, this is where the school could step up, though. The school should not allow the coach to dictate who's calling their games. Am I right? School should not just go, oh, okay, coach. Wow. All right. Anyway, good stuff. Keon and I will talk about that tomorrow. Marty Rags tomorrow. Thanks to the sponsors. Thanks to everybody in chat. Thanks to everybody on the text line. We'll see you on the Hump Day Wednesday edition. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Please, as always, subscribe, like, and share the channel.